On this virtual tour stop, I am showcasing brush sawing, a mechanical treatment that we use to control mesophytic hardwoods in the mid-story of our otherwise oak hickory dominated upland hardwood stands here in the Piedmont. When I say brush sawing, we're not really using a chainsaw for a variety of reasons, most of them related to safety. We don't really like to lug a chainsaw into these stands to cut down our mid-story. Instead, we use a heavy-duty brush saw that really resembles like a weed eater. So what you would use to trim grass in your yard, except instead of it having two strings, little plastic strings that cut the grass, this thing has a circular saw blade on the bottom of it. I didn't want to carry it all the way out here for today's video because I had to carry the mist blower out here. But basically, you know, you power up that brush saw and you can pretty quickly and easily, you know, cut down stems like this without too much trouble. That's about as big as you want to get with a brush saw. Anything bigger than that, you can warp the blade or actually warp the shaft of the brush saw itself, and they're not cheap. But, you know, that's one of the issues with the treatment is, you know, while we can look around in here, and again, it's a 360 video, pan around, the mid-story is basically gone in this little experimental plot. It's just not here. We dropped most of it down, except for example, some of these big sour woods that we still have out here. And these are still producing some mid-story shade. This is a bad one right here. But that's too big for a brush saw to take down. We'd either have to chainsaw that or use something like injection to take that tree out of the mid-story. And the reason a lot of people choose brush sawing as opposed to the chemical treatments is a lot of people don't necessarily want to use a lot of chemical. And I get that. I'm sympathetic to that. I understand that perspective. But there's a trade-off here that I want to point out. While brush sawing is quite effective at knocking back that mid-story, it appears to be a temporary fix on a lot of these sites. So let's use this as an example. This is a red maple that we brush sawed to the ground. This was a big one that we cut down. This was on the larger end of what we could hit with the saw. But as you can see, it's just sprouted back. And if you look around in here, the tall hardwoods that you see, like this one and this sour wood right here, that's not advanced regeneration being built up of oak. That's just the red maple and yellow poplar in some spots, honestly, and American beech that we brush sawed to the ground, sprouting back from those rootstocks. So chemical treatment would take care of that, or at least do a better job of taking care of that. But you know, for some people, if they don't have chemicals on that list of things they're willing to do in their stand, brush sawing does seem to be a temporary fix. One thing we've been trying to do on some of these stands is brush saw it out and then run a fire through after they sprout back from the stump, in thoughts that we can further deplete the rootstock by doing that burn. Haven't done it enough times to really weigh in on how effective that's being, but you know, in theory it should work. But we'll see, time will tell. But just wanted to draw your attention to this as another mid-story control method that we sometimes do in the Piedmont, and the positive and negative attributes of it. So with that, I will go ahead and let you look around for a minute and then shut the video off.